So you probably remember this guy from America's Got Talent, right? Well, if you don't remember, don't even worry about it, because we're going to recap. Okay, so that right there, that is Tapeface. Now, Tapeface was a mime on season 11 of America's Got Talent, which aired way back in 2016. So we're talking like 7 years ago. Now, he doesn't call himself a mime, he calls himself a prop comic, because he thinks when you say mime, people automatically imagine walking against the wind and black and white striped tops, which is ironic because he always wears a black and white striped top. So I don't know why he would say that, but I digress. To recap you on his audition, this was his audition right here. He did the whole oven mitt things with eyes, used them as puppets. They were singing Diana Ross and Lionel Richie's Endless Love, which, by the way, is an absolute tune. That is a banger. He finished in the bottom 5 of the top 10, so he didn't win it. But despite not winning it, he racked up millions of views on YouTube, and I mean millions. He was a clear show favourite, and even 7 years on, people are still watching his auditions, people are still looking him up on YouTube. He was massively successful. In terms of popularity, he was huge. I don't know why I did that with popularity, but he was huge. Yet all these videos on YouTube that are getting massive hits on them and getting loads of traffic, it's all from his audition. It's all from 2016. Where was Tapeface before America's Got Talent? Where was Tapeface after it? A lot of people know who he is, but they don't know who he is. They don't know what he's done since, what he did before. They don't even know what he sounds like because he never spoke in America's Got Talent. And he does speak. So this is the what, why, when, where is he now, where are they now, now verse then verse now of one Mr. Tapeface. Going backwards in time, let me tell you the story of Tapeface before there was ever a Tapeface. His real name is Sam Wills and he is from Canterbury, which is in New Zealand. When little old Sam was just 12 years old, there was a clown busking in his neighbourhood. After the clown finished his performance, Sam followed him home. He knocked on his door and he asked the clown if he could be his apprentice. The clown said yes, and then at just 12 years old, Sam became a clown apprentice. Later on in life, he then actually went to clown school. After that, he started his career busking in his hometown, which was Christchurch. And he was fairly popular. He brought in big crowds. He even won the Press People's Choice Awards at the World Buskers Festival in 2008, as well as a load of other competitions. He actually ended up winning some prize money for a competition, and he used that prize money to develop his show, which was called The Boy with Tape on His Face, which sold out around the world and attracted dozens of 5-star reviews. Now, I don't know how much money he won to be able to develop this Tapeface show of his, but all I will say is all he did was slap tape on his face, so that must have been some pretty expensive tape, which, funnily enough, why does he even use the tape? Sure, it's a little funny, it's a little gimmicky, we all love a gimmick, but where did that come from? Well, when he first developed this show of his, The Boy, he went on stage as a silent comic with no tape on his face. Before then, he used to speak a lot in his shows. This was his first time when he was doing the silent comedy thing. He gets on the stage and the first thing he does is greet the audience by saying, "Good evening, guys." So that kind of ruined the vibe of the whole show. That he's this non-speaking comic, a bit of mystery surrounding him, and he comes out and he greets everyone anyway. So after that, he stuck the tape on his face as a reminder for himself to shut up, turned into a gimmick, people loved it, it took off. He also took his comedy show over here to Britain, took it around the UK, did a lot of work, it was very successful here. He enjoyed several sellout runs at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival and even performed at the Royal Albert Hall, as well as packed out theatres here in Britain, so he was very successful. People in Britain really loved him. I can see why. It's kind of our type of comedy, you know? Slapstick, silent, kind of a little bit goofy comedy. We love that here, so I can see why it was a success. And I believe he also met his now wife at Edinburgh Fringe Festivals. So he's always going to hold a special place in his heart for this area, this little area of the world. After that is when we get to AGT. He's developed this act of his with the makeup and the tape. He brings it to AGT. They love him. You know what happens there because I said so in the beginning. 2016, season 11, six or 7 years ago. Very successful. Everybody loved him. What happened after the show? Well, after the show, he continued doing shows. He continued taking that act around the world. On March 16th, 2018, Hurrahs, which is a place in Las Vegas, opened the House of Tape Theatre for Will's multi-year residency. So he went straight from AGT to Las Vegas, where he managed to snap himself up his own show with a multi-year residency. In mid-July 2020, he competed in France's Got Talent, Battle of the Judges, which is kind of like France's AGT The Champions, which he also did. He also did AGT The Champions. In 2022, he auditioned for the 9th season of the Italian competition series called, and I'm probably going to butcher this, 2CQ Veils, on which he was eliminated before the semi-finals, and he also auditioned for AGT All-Stars in 2023. So he's still doing the talent show runs, even though he's massively successful. Even though when he does his tours, they always sell out, and he always ends up packing out the theatres. And he does talk, like I mentioned, way before he put the tape on his face, he used to talk. And I know what you're thinking. What does he sound like? New Zealand lad, like he is. What does he sound like? Here is a video of Tapeface without tape on his face.
This is my life. So this is where this is how I tour. So when I'm touring, I do shows that can be up to 40 minutes long, and I just turn up with my bits and bobs and set it up. So this is how I run my life.
Oh my gosh.
So and I get really personally attached to my props.
So yeah, just a regular guy, I guess, and he's still taking that show. He's developed the show a lot before AGT, and after the success of that, he's just kept the same thing. So he's just rinsing and repeating what he already does. But here's the thing, he's still performing now at Hurrahs in Las Vegas. If you look on his website, which I've got here, you can see upcoming shows, hurrah, 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 hurrah. So I know he signed a multi-year contract, but sometimes these things fall through. I don't know what the deal was, but you can expect it's normally maybe 2 or 3 year contracts. If they're going to build out a theatre just for him, maybe even a 5-year contract. The fact that he's been there going on 7 years now, still at Hurrahs, is a good sign that the show is very successful, that it's actually making an impact, that it's bringing money for that it's bringing money in for himself, it's bringing money in for Hurrahs, it must be getting rave reviews, and people are still not tired of the show. So he really must be mixing it up a bit. And I guess that's the beauty of being a silent comic. The fear is that it becomes gimmicky, it becomes tiresome. It's good for one show, it's good for 20 minutes, and then it's a bit boring. But whatever he's doing very well because he's managed to continue to do the same thing without ever speaking and still continue to be a success. So that is the story of Sam Wills, better known as you may know him and I know him, Tapeface, life before AGT and life after AGT. Let me know in the comments if there's anyone else you want me to do a little story on, a little recap on. Who do you love? Who do you want to know where they are now? And I'll put my own opinions on it. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that nice stuff. Check out some other videos I've done. Why not? You're here, you're almost there. All you gotta do is click the little icon. Goes right to my page. Have a look through the videos. You might see something you like. I don't see why not. Can't hurt, can it? Enjoy the rest of your day.